Hi there, for today's read aloud, we will be reading Some Smug Slug by Pamela Edwards, illustrated by Henry Cole. Okay, so the person who wrote the words is Pamela Edwards. Illustrated means the person who drew the pictures is by Henry Cole. Okay, so earlier today we talked about alliteration, right? Is this an example of alliteration? Some, smug, slug. It is. We have two or more words nearby that start with the same sound. We hear the S sound, right? The s. Okay, so this story is a really good example of alliteration. I want you to pay attention as we're listening to see if you hear any examples of alliteration, okay? So before we begin, go ahead and look at the cover, read the title, Some Smug Slug, to make it the best possible prediction you can. All right, if you need more time, just pause the video. Let's get started. Some Smug Slug. Here's the cover page. One summer Sunday, while strolling on soil, with its antenna signaling, a slug sensed a slope. Give me a thumbs up if you are noticing some alliteration going on. What letter are we reading? What letter are you noticing? The S. Summer, Sunday, strolling, soil, signaling, slug, sensed, slope. There's a lot of words that begin with S. And what sound does S make? S. Good job. Slowly the slug started up the steep surface, stringing behind it scribble sparkling like silk. That's what it means by scribble sparkling. Stop! Screamed a sparrow, shattering the silence. Uh-oh. Screaming at the slug. Why do you think he's screaming at the slug? Let's keep reading and find out. Save him! Shrieked a spider, scurrying down its strand. What do you think? Why do you think he's saying save him? So, let's see. We have the sparrow saying stop, spider saying save him. What's going on? Silly, sighed a swallowtail swishing through the spice bush. Why do you think all these animals and insects are saying that? Look at the picture very carefully. Saphead snickered a skink as its sapphire tail swished. Skink is a type of lizard. So, right here. With a shrug of his shoulders, on the slug sauntered. With a swagger it slithered up the slant. Interesting. Show off, scolded a squirrel, storing nuts for the season. Are these animals and bugs being nice to the slug? Or do you think they're trying to warn him? So sad, squealed a stink bug, shivering on a stem. So sad about what? Have you noticed that every sentence that I've read so far has more than two words that begin with an S? Thumbs up or down? Yes. For example, might be a little hard to see because of the glare, but so sad, that's two, squealed, stink, shivering, stem. That's 6 words that begin with an S. So is this an example of alliteration? Yes. So far throughout this book, what letter are we focusing on? The letter S, the S sound. For one single second in a sunbeam it slumbered. Its sleek skin was soft like shantung. Shantung means it's a type of fabric. Seldom swerving or straggling or swaying or skewing, the smug slug shambled on. Some more alliteration. Struggling up to the summit, the slimy slug smiled a self-satisfied smile. Why is he smiling? I'm going to give you a moment to make a prediction. Why is the slug smiling? Alright, if you need more time, just pause the video. And if you're at school, maybe you can share your answer with some classmates. And if you're at home, share your answer, your prediction with a stuffed animal. In spite of sinister signs, it showed no suspicion. Oh no. What is this? What do you think this is now? Here's the slug. This wasn't there a moment ago. Uh-oh. Give you a moment to make another prediction. Do you think this is an animal? Do you think this is just a... I'm not sure. What do you think it is? Alright, let's read to find out. Oh no. Until something shifted and shuddered and shook. That sly, slippery slope was simply a sham. Such a shock, such a shame. Uh-oh, what is that? What is the slug on? What is that? What do you predict is going to happen now? What happened? Such a shock, such a shame. Here's the slug. There's Slug. Here's that butterfly from earlier. Oops. Such a succulent slug. Somewhere in this story, did you see a skunk, a snake, a salamander, and 2 snails spying on the slug? I saw I did notice the snake and the snails. Did you notice the skunk? What about the snake? The salamander? What about the 2 snails? Okay. Also hidden in each picture is an S shape. Can you spot it? Did you notice an S shape in each picture? So in each picture, does that also mean this picture? Sure, look at the slug. Let's see. So this book is a really fun book. So if you ever get the chance to actually see this book in person, there are things that are hidden, such as the S shape. There is different animals that begin with an S that are hidden throughout the story. Trying to see if I can't find one example of an S. Oh, right here. Here's an example of an S. Alright, so this is a perfect example of alliteration. This book is so fun. We focus on the letter S. Here's that skunk. We talk about a whole bunch of animals that that names also begin with an S. And it's just a fun story. So I hope you enjoyed today's read aloud, Some Smug Slug. And I'm going to give you a moment to think of an example of alliteration from the story. Think of a sentence that I read or some words that I read that begin with an S. Because later on your reading, your read aloud discussion, you are going to have to talk about the alliteration that you heard in the story. So I'll give you a moment to think about it right now. I'll go back and give some examples. Some Smug Slug. This title is a good example. One summer Sunday while strolling on soil, with its antenna signaling a slug sensed a slope. Okay, so that's just an example. There's so much alliteration in this story. You just got to think back, okay? So I hope you enjoyed today's read aloud.